Today, we're going to go through every single player that played for the 2025 New York Mets and rank them on a tier list. We're grading every player from the 2025 season. We're going from Dylan Ross, who literally didn't appear in a game, to Juan Soto, a guy who is the most integral player on this team. So before we do get going, make sure you guys are subscribed to the Mets'd Podcast YouTube channel if you have not yet done so. And if you are listening to us, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, drop us a rating, drop us a review. Download. Click download. Even if you watch every and listen to every episode, just click that download button. Let's see those download numbers up. We do appreciate it. And we're starting off with the banger, James. Jose Butto. We're just going to go down the list. Jose Butto. Where would you put Jose Butto? Because a little bit of a weird season.
I mean, weird season. It's a crazy one to start out with. But I guess
who's first. Also, shout out the intern for making the tier list.
Yeah, shout out. Thank you for that. I guess you just kind of have to give him a C. Like
That's was kind of where I was thinking.
When he was on the Mets, he wasn't deplorable. He didn't hurt the team drastically. He didn't help the team a ton either. He was part of a trade in the middle of the season. Kind of an emotional moment for him. Watching him get traded in the middle of a game. He looks like he got teary-eyed a little bit, but no real strong opinions on Jose Butto either way here.
Yeah, there were some moments where he was unpitchable, and there were some moments where he was good. That's kind of the Jose Butto experience, a reason why the Mets got rid of him. You could find Jose Butto in the minor leagues anywhere, unfortunately. But this was always a Jose Butto podcast and will always be a Jose Butto podcast.
Absolutely forever. Can I make one critique of the tier list before we really get going into this?
You're taking a shot at the intern, so go for it.
No. In terms of what we just did with the letters here.
Okay, what?
Either instead of F or below F. Can we just have a tier that says ass?
Okay, yeah, I'll add ass.
Okay.
I think
we kind of need an ass tier.
Okay. Is it because you saw the next guy?
There's a couple guys. It's not even the next guy. As I'm looking at some of the stats and some of the players on this team, there has to be an ass tier for some of the guys here.
Okay. Well,
there has to be.
Sean Manaea. F or ass, James, because I think those are the only two places he could go. I think F just for respect.
I think F definitely for respect. I know, especially the way that he took his accountability after the season and the way we know he pitched through injuries, but he is the one who you look at back at the season, you're like, if you showed up, this would have been different.
If he pitched one good game, literally one good game, we were probably in the playoffs, although we would be getting throttled by the Dodgers as the Reds are currently when we're recording.
And this will always and has forever been a big strikeout minus walk rate podcast. Sean Manaea was actually elite in that stat this year.
Really? What was it?
It was 29% walk rate and a 5% strikeout rate.
Nope, you had the opposite.
29% strikeout rate, 5% walk rate.
I was like, hold on a second. That is not
unpitchable.
What that word
no,
means.
Yeah.
Can't pitch him. All right, probably the easiest one of the entire video. Juan Soto,
S tier.
Yeah, he's S tier. He had arguably the best season of his career. Well, I can't play any defense. Nobody cares because he hit 40-plus home runs, stole 30 bases, drove in close to 100 runs, right? I don't think he got to the 100 mark. Did he?
I honestly have no idea how many runs he drove in. I think
honestly, it doesn't matter. He scored a lot. He was on base a lot. He had a 900 OPS. Juan Soto was as good, if not better than advertised. Okay, even better.
Yeah, Juan Soto was tremendous. I also think there was a time in the middle of the season where he went from deplorable defensively to passable defensively,
yes.
And he fulfilled a really vital role in this outfield for most of the season, being the only guy with an arm.
Yes.
Also, that being said, like you guys are probably yelling at us, maybe you think he only belongs in A because of the runners and scoring position stats. We don't care. He deserves to go in S.
I saw some comments in our comment section about that. Juan Soto did not change anything, did not make any impact because the Mets scored less runs this year than they did last year. That was their reasoning as to why Juan Soto wasn't that big of a signing. We shouldn't have signed him this offseason. That's crazy to me.
No, it's not. I think that I don't know. He's always going to be so many eyeballs on Juan Soto, so much emphasis on him because of the price tag associated with his name. But it just doesn't matter. He's one of the best players in baseball, and we should all continue to be grateful for him. Everything bad that happened this year had nothing to do with Juan Soto.
Quite literally not a single thing. Next guy on this list came up late. Our GOAT, Brandon Sproat. Where does he go? I tend to lead towards the B tier. Is that fair?
I was going to actually say C. Usually you're the one who's more critical of the pitchers than I am, just because it wasn't, in terms of what we needed, it did happen kind of suddenly. The actual results weren't very good. I will also say,
numbers?
I mean, it was a kind of thing where in a small sample, the ERA was quite higher than the whip would have ever indicated, and there wasn't a lot of hard contact against him, so you probably were expecting something more like, he's a really wide range, because this will happen in a small sample, 4.8 ERA, 2.8 FIP, and then 4.2 Sierra. So I do think that you probably expected like a high threes guy for Brandon Sproat. I think given the situation, given the context, I think he did pretty well, and I'd be happy to give him a C for that because it wasn't still great.
Okay, I'll put Brandon Sproat and see. You convinced me. I did want to hear what the ERA was. Be honest, I had no clue. I thought pitching wise, he did a very acceptable job, and I guess that is kind of what the B or the C tier is.
Definitely wasn't a lot of strikeouts. It was also how many total innings did Brandon Sproat even have? Let me tell you right now.
18.
It was where is he? 20 2/3.
Close. Pretty good guess.
Just a bit more than Ryan Helsley.
Oh God. This is why the ass tier was invented.
It's one of the reasons, but yeah, I think Paul Blackburn does deserve to go in the ass tier. I think he was the butt of a few too many jokes from Mets fans because the guy was grinding. He went through a lifetime of injuries in the year he spent with this organization, but it was bad. And he's kind of endemic to the problems that wound up being the case for this Mets team, like the David Stearns issues, where like getting the Paul Blackburn, having him take up one of the pitching spots, holding on to him for as long as we did. It's like there probably could have been a better guy than him.
Letting him make any sort of appearances on this team when he really didn't have to. That definitely cost us a few games. Crazy. He made the Yankees postseason roster. I don't even know how that's possible.
Crazier, he got the last out for the Yankees of the regular season.
That's also crazy. I don't know how a winning team keeps this guy on the roster. Sorry, Paul Blackburn. You were asked this season.
Yep. So
difficult
next up,
one here. Jonah Tong.
I think Jonah Tong, I kind of consider him the same as Sproat, where you came in and you helped us when we needed a lot of help, but you kind of gave up a lot of the runs.
Yeah, he definitely didn't really make the team better, but it was also a pretty unfair situation to him. And I have no interest in putting him anywhere lower or higher than the C tier.
Yeah.
He showed us what makes us excited about him in the future, but at the same time, he just simply was not ready yet with just the two pitches being a fastball and a changeup.
And in the moment, that win against the Padres was awesome.
Was sick, yeah.
That was huge. I don't know which other pitcher in this organization could have won that game on that day. Despite the other struggles that he had, again, that game, that day, that was a really meaningful moment.
Tom Hamill. What the hell? How do we rank him? He got what? 2 outs? Like,
honestly, I give Dom Hamill credit. Did he even get 2 outs? I actually don't think he did.
He got in a game. How many outs did he get?
I'll tell you right now. Dom Hamill recorded 46 guys gotten out for this team this year. He pitched one complete inning. He didn't give up a run.
Elite S tier.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, why not, right? He did his job.
Realistically, we're just going to throw him in C probably, right?
I think realistically it'd be funny as for the memes to throw him in S.
All right, we'll sneak Dom Hamill in there.
Yeah.
Just he didn't give up a run. He was elite. He couldn't have pitched better than he did in the one inning he had.
Everything that happened to Dom Hamill this year, like it was crazy. The fact he went up and down, didn't get his debut, then he got cut, and then he got cut again at the end of the season. So I think he gets the S tier for that alone.
Yeah, and he's been here forever. What is this guy's name? Completely forgot. The outfielder that was on the Padres forever.
It's Jose Azocar.
Jose Azocar. I want to call him Alex. I don't know why that's the name that I think comes up. Jose Azocar. He played.
He appeared in 20 games for the Mets this season. Had 20 plate appearances.
So many games.
12 games, 20 plate appearances, 2 walks, 1 strikeout, and a couple singles.
D?
I guess. Sure. Yeah, why not?
He didn't hurt the team, but he sure didn't help the team at all. I mean, he should have never been on the team, to be honest.
We're really in the chaos section right now. Who's up next here?
This is Genesis Cabrera,
that's what
who
I thought.
I think had a pretty good season with the Pirates. Where'd he go after us? Was it the Pirates?
I think Genesis Cabrera is another guy who might have put himself in the A or the S tier just because he got that crazy save against the Reds in the last week of the season, the 11-inning game. Oh, no, that was Johan Ramirez.
Yeah,
that was Johan Ramirez.
What are you talking about?
You said Pirates. That brought me that Pirates, Genesis Cabrera.
Genesis Cabrera, I think, F? He was pretty horrible, I think, in the time that he spent with the Mets this year.
He had 3.5 ERA in 6 appearances.
What was his whip?
His whip was 1.17.
That's way better than I thought. Why did we cut him?
Good question.
Why did we cut Genesis Cabrera? Am I forgetting something?
There were a bunch of walks, not that many strikeouts. It looked okay. It looked tangibly fine.
Where would you put Genesis Cabrera? I actually have no clue where to put this guy.
I think comfortably a C. This is going to wind up just being us going through all the 46 guys who've gotten out for the Mets this season.
Dickie Lovelady. I believe this is Dickie Lovelady. He was huge in that game against the Cubs when we made the comeback because he kept it close.
But it wasn't really good otherwise.
So D, I guess?
I guess a D, yeah. I feel bad that
D for Dick.
Yeah, they're D for Dick. I feel bad that Jose Azocar and Dickie Lovelady there had the Sean Manaea, but it's just that's kind of where we're at. Who's this?
This is Austin Warren, and I stand Austin Warren. He was awesome in his time with the Mets. I don't know if this stuff's any good. I don't know if it's legit, but in the time that he pitched with the Mets, I want to say he maybe had 1 or 2 earned runs in like 9 innings. I liked Austin Warren this year. I thought he should have gotten more play.
It was 1 earned run in 9 1/3 innings.
I think he did a really good job.
Also wore to the S tier.
Austin Warren, no, we'll put him in A. He gave up a run.
Okay,
He's
gave
not
up
like
a
Dom
run.
Hamill. Dom
It's
Hamill was
true.
perfect. Austin Warren was almost perfect. I'll put him in A tier. In the 9 innings he gave us, he also pitched that multiple inning game against the Yankees when Hagenman started.
Yeah, he did.
He gave us some big innings in games that we won. So shout out Austin Warren. October baseball is here. The pressure's on, the lights are brighter, and with DraftKings Sportsbook, you're right there in the middle of every moonshot moment. DraftKings Sportsbook delivers the intensity of October with player props, live in-game betting, and odds that can change as fast as a ball flying over the fence. I really like DraftKings. I think you guys should too. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code FOUL. That's code FOUL to turn $5 into $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, fees may apply in Illinois. 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bet must win to receive reward. Minimum minus 500 odds required. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio.
Who is this guy? This looks like if you asked Grok to make a baseball player. Who could? Justin Garza?
It could be Justin Garza. That's a good guess. Could it be? It's not. I mean, let's go through some of the weird ones here. It's definitely not Zuber. It's not Zach Pop.
Who's the guy next to him?
Is this next team's Colin Poche?
Colin Poche? Oh my God.
Yes.
Is that Colin Poche, or is he the guy in between Carrillo and Pintaro?
No, wait. No, that's Zuber in between Carrillo and Pintaro. No,
It's not.
Zuber, wait. That's
Zuber's below Pintaro. Pintaro's next to Nolan McClain. This is bad. I can't believe some of the guys that pitch for this team. James, type in Justin Garza on Baseball Reference. You're going to have to be our stat checker here. I know you love Fangraphs, but you're going to have to be reference for us.
That is Justin Garza.
Okay. I liked what we saw from him in the small sample. He's a guy that could be one of the last relievers on this team, but I don't know, C probably for him?
I think he probably will wind up being one of the last relievers on this team. I also just don't think the stuff is very good. It was a sinker that you were hoping to get more ground balls than it did. He didn't really miss any bats. He gave up runs when he came in the games. I would go for D for Garza, honestly.
What was his ERA? I don't even remember it.
I gotta say it was 5.5.
Oh, bad. Okay, he might go. He might go in F.
Yeah, only 4 strikeouts per 9.
I'm happy to put him in F.
Yeah, that's fair. I think it's the first time I've ever cited a strikeouts per 9 on this show.
This is the guy. Pull up that Mets active roster or type in Colin Poche.
I'm doing it right now. I think that's Colin Poche. That is Colin Poche for sure.
That's Colin Poche?
Yeah, that's definitely Colin Poche. No, Colin Poche is 2 more down.
That's what I was saying. That's who I thought Colin Poche is. Who the hell is this guy?
You have a guess? I really hope you guys are watching this one on
Mets
YouTube.
roster. Oh man, 2025 Mets Baseball Reference. Let's see.
Is that Waddell? No.
I don't think it's Waddell.
Zach Pop.
That's not Zach Pop, is it? No, that's not Zach Pop. I know what Zach Pop looks like. That is.
Where is Zach Pop on?
Is this Kevin Herget? Kevin Herget.
Yeah, you confirmed?
Confirmed Kevin Herget.
Confirmed Kevin Herget.
He did okay. I'd be willing to put him in C. I think that he can get out sometimes.
This grading every player in the team episode has just turned into us trying to name all the 46 pitchers that pitched for the Mets this year.
Really embarrassing for the team, not for us.
Yeah, Kevin Herget got out, I guess.
Yeah, C. He's like,
yeah, sure.
He was there. Alex Carrillo.
Alex Carrillo might have to go in the ass.
Yeah, he was bad. I know he throws 100, but also
it was worth a shot, but not in the moment.
Shame on Carlos Mendoza for pitching him first game out of the All-Star break against the Reds. That really put a sour taste in our mouths to start the second half.
And you got some relatively high leverage innings the series before the All-Star break in Kansas City.
For no reason. They were like, Alex Carrillo, you're our guy now. He was not good. Colin Poche, he was also ass.
Colin Poche was ass. Colin Poche got into one game, and they were like, you're too bad. We're sorry.
They're like, we cannot see you pitch again for this team. That was your guy for a little bit, wasn't it?
Years ago, yeah. I love Colin Poche because he was on that original Lance Brosdowski, I think, for that graphic where it was the Rays, every arm slot around the clock.
Yeah. Jonathan Pintaro, really cool story.
Sadly ass.
I'm so sorry. He's such a nice guy, I'm sure. His story's awesome, but it was crazy they called him up right from Double A. They're like, you know what, let's see what the 27-year-old in Double A's got. And Shocker, wasn't much.
No, wasn't much at all. That's just okay. So now we're getting through. We got another real player here. Real player
Yes.
alert.
Real player alert. Nolan McLean, S.
I think Nolan McLean, S. You want to hear a crazy stat about Nolan McLean?
I do.
He had the 11th most innings pitched on the Mets this season.
It's like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
How is that even possible?
And
How many innings did he get to?
48.
So we still got the rookie status for next year, right?
Yeah, we were 2 innings clear if it's 50.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, might maybe thread the needle a little bit too much, but now that we're here, at least we get a draft pick if he can win Rookie of the Year next season.
Yes, or finish in the top 3, or is that not it? He needs to finish in top 3 of Cy Young, I think that would be, right?
Yeah, I think it's win Rookie of the Year or finish top 3 in Cy Young or MVP.
Cool. All right. Yeah, Nolan McLean was disgusting. He is the best pitcher on this staff at this exact moment.
Where does Nolan McLean have to be in the rotation to start next season for you to feel comfortable in the next season rotation?
2.
2?
2. I don't think he should be the 1, but I'd feel really good with him as 2. Like, again, I always draw back to it, even though they're not the same, but they are a little bit. Spencer Schwellenbach, like, you felt good if he was your 2 behind Chris Sale to start the year. Or Spencer Strider before he sucked.
Yeah, I guess that is fair. I think they're I don't know. It seems like everyone's really high on Nolan McLean, and for good reason. It kind of did make me sad watching these wild card games on Tuesday, being like, I wish Nolan McLean was pitching right now, but yeah. So
David Peterson.
This is a weird one.
Because the first half, he was massively important. First half, he would have got an S tier. You would have been like, David Peterson did everything that we needed. He was our stopper. He was our ace. He was getting the big outs. And then as soon as he hit that new spot for how many innings he's thrown, he was basically unpitchable for the last month and a half.
Yeah, he was so unpitchable for the last couple of weeks at least that we had to do the bullpen parade on the game 162 instead of just letting David Peterson pitch, which is crazy to think about where he fell from that season. But you also kind of look back and it's weird that his complete game shutout against the Nationals was literally the plateau, like the peak of the season, the climax of it, because that was June 11th or June 12th.
God.
It was the last game, I believe, before the June 13th, and where everything started to turn around and go the wrong way.
The Paul Blackburn coming in relief game?
Yeah, for Clay Holmes, that was it. And it is a big thing that the fact that David Peterson was stuck around this, like in 2022 was 105 innings, and then 2023 111. Last year was about 130 before the postseason. And this year, once he got to 150, he really just fell apart, which is a shame because that's not really the biggest jump in the world. But
no.
Yeah, you also just kind of wish that you could have insulated him a bit more against the workload issues if he just had more pitching depth that didn't get hurt in the middle months. Can't wait if the Tyler McGill ranking is going to come up soon, but I think you just kind of have to give Peterson still a C.
I was thinking that because there was good and there was bad. At the end of the day, he's not the reason we didn't make the playoffs because that would be insane because of what he did at the beginning of the year, but he was also not the reason why we could make the playoffs.
And he still led the team in innings, so I give him some credit for that. A team that desperately needed innings.
Yes. Huascar Brazoban. I see that there's no one in the B tier, and that feels like a great place for Huascar Brazoban, who, shout out to him getting sent up and down from Syracuse all year long. He made that place his home. He might get his number retired. Could be maybe one of the oldest guys that still has options in all of Major League Baseball and uses those options. He's so old. But Huascar Brazoban was just kind of good this year. I think a unsung good reliever in this team. And if it wasn't for the options, I think they would have kept him around a lot more.
Totally. I think the thing that really hurt Brazoban was the fact that when he began the year, he was one of those guys that made like 6 appearances and gave up no runs. So then you start to get people talking about you. Huascar Brazoban could be like the next big reliever. That was never going to be the case. But just being someone that could be well utilized out of this bullpen, that sinker and changeup wound up both being real weapons. Like he threw 97, 98 miles an hour. It all worked out nicely for Huascar Brazoban. Like I was happy he was on this team, and he's a good chess piece for what kind of bullpen we're trying to build.
One of the few guys that it will actually be in the bullpen from this current team next year.
And I'll keep bringing these things up because they're funny to talk about. Mark, guess where Huascar Brazoban ranked on this team in innings pitched?
I'm going to go like 8th.
It was 7th.
Oh, it's so high for a reliever.
With 63 innings. And there was another reliever ahead of him.
There was another reliever ahead of him.
Yes. This one will shock you. Can't wait till we get to his ranking.
Okay. Can I just guess right now?
Guess right now.
Reed Garrett?
No. Whoa.
No, all right, we'll get there. When his name pops up, I'm sure I'll know who it is.
Oh, we're going to do innings pitch trivia with these 46 pitchers the entire night, the entire show here.
All right, let's talk about Max Kranick. Shame because he blew out his elbow. Probably done for next year as well if we had to take a guess because I think that's his second Tommy John.
Yeah, it might just be done.
Sucks, but in the time that we had him, I thought he was good. I think he was a guy that goes in the B tier as well. He was a capable reliever. He wasn't as sharp as he was in spring or at the start of the season, but you could kind of track the injury to when he started pitching poorly.
Definitely. He was another guy where when the pitching staff was working early in the season, he was a big piece that could come in and get you the 5 or 6 outs and be like the bridge between the starters who were still only going 5 then and the late inning relievers who hadn't burnt themselves out yet. Here's another funny pitching trivia question.
Okay.
Guess Max Kranich's strikeout rate this year.
28%.
16.9. Shockingly low.
Wait, what?
Very low.
That's really low. What was his walk rate?
3%.
All right, that'll play.
Yeah, that will play. But I was also very surprised seeing how few strikeouts there were, especially thinking back to how I perceived him.
I think towards the end, when he was getting used a lot, I think he just kind of had nothing left in the tank. Brooks Raley. Brooks Raley was awesome. I think he goes in the A tier.
I was going to say the S tier. I don't know.
What was his ERA? Was it starting with a 1?
It was a 2.4, 25% strikeouts. I'm going to see how many innings he had here because I have those two things on different tabs for some reason. Only wound up going 26 innings. That felt like a lifetime, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But I mean, Brooks Raley was a godsend. Like Brooks Raley, him leaving the game that Sunday was that's a moment where I was like, oh, now we're actually done here. I think Brooks Raley, his 30 appearances this year, he was the second most important reliever on this team basically the whole time.
Okay, yeah. You've convinced me again. I'll put Brooks Raley in S. He was the best left-handed reliever. He was phenomenal for this team down the stretch every single time that they needed him.
Really important.
Tyler Rogers.
This is a weird one.
This is one where I don't think the numbers are going to match where my grade is. I was quite disappointed with Tyler Rogers. Is that fair to say?
Another piece of pitching trivia. What do you think Tyler Rogers' ERA was as a Met?
2.36.
2.30. That was unbelievable.
That was pretty close. Okay, I knew it was going to start in the low 2s, but it felt like he gave up every inherited runner that he ever had. Like he didn't actually give up the runs for the guys that he faced. They didn't score, but anybody who was on base felt like they scored when he came in the game.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's somewhere between C and B. I'll let you make the call.
I think I'm going to put him in C just because he was expected.
A little ruthless.
He was expected to be better, and he just never felt comfortable truly with Tyler Rogers in the game, right?
It's a funny thing with Tyler Rogers because he seems like the kind of reliever where you oddly want the bigger sample. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like you want Tyler Rogers to get more innings, more appearances. Yes. I feel like you do that over the whole season that will really drive down his ERA. And again, it's funny to look back how low the ERA was, but I guess it's a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth from game 162. And also just the fact that, like you said, there weren't clean innings, but I don't think you get Tyler Rogers for clean innings. I'm excited to see the retrospective of the Tyler Rogers trade in a few years when I just don't know what's going to wind up happening to Blade Tidwell or Drew Gilbert, but I still think it's a trade you make.
C or B? You tell me. I think C.
I'll give you C right there.
Okay. Tyler Rogers in C. My boy, Gregory Soto. I am biased on this one, so I'm going to need you to tell me where to put him because if it was for me, he was like D or F. I thought he sucked.
Yeah, I was going to say D. I think it wasn't very good. There were moments.
He's never been good. That's the whole thing with him is he's never been good. He can't throw strikes. He doesn't get lefties out. He can't get righties out.
Mark Licata.
He sucks. He sucks. Don't you ever call me Mark Licata.
You look in the mirror for the last few episodes here, but I think also
I didn't say to trade Francisco Lindor.
Yeah, I mean, who knows what's going to happen 5 more episodes from right now? Who knows where your head's going to be at? But I specifically will always remember that Gregory Soto bad throw against the Padres. That was the one that broke my heart the most, truthfully.
Yeah, he sucks. He's always sucked. We watched him pitch for the Phillies. He's terrible. I would have put him in ass, but truthfully, he probably is D. He got outs one time.
Yeah, he got outs a few times. He was useful for at least a month and a half.
And it's hard to put him in ass when this is the ass man right here, Ryan Helsley, someone who you've shared a beverage with.
I have.
And he has been about as bad as you could ever be.
For sure. The most pain about Ryan Helsley is going to be next season when he's awesome.
For the Texas Rangers?
Yeah, closer on the Texas Rangers. Call my shot
maybe?
Right now with that one. Who knows where? Who knows if it's even here? I mean, but I just think that we're going to look back on Ryan Helsley. We'll remember the rest of our lives how badly that turned out.
Did you see David Stearns during the press conference talk about the trades? He's not bringing Ryan Helsley back, even if it was for free.
Yeah, I think you're probably right about that.
He's waking up in the middle of the night to nightmares of watching Ryan Helsley pitch in his head.
Could you just imagine the difference in emotion when we got Ryan Helsley and how that felt? We were like, wow, we have the best 8th, 9th, bottom back to punch of the bullpen in the entire league. This guy's been one of the 5 best relievers in baseball for 4 straight years.
I was at an influencer event, which is I hate saying out loud, but that's what it was called.
Shout out, Mark.
And I literally, like, someone was giving a speech, and I, like, stomped my foot and went, like, yeah! And, like, someone came up to me, like, Helsley, let's go! Boy, oh boy, was that the height of the Ryan Helsley Mets experience.
And that first game against the Giants where he got through a clean inning.
Yes. Jose Castillo. He weirdly, I think, had a low ERA with the Mets, right? But he just definitely wasn't good.
He had a low ERA, and he struck out lots of batters. And he also got kind of unlucky on his balls in play. But I also watched him and was never impressed. Like, he was one where I thought there maybe was something there. And he got picked up by somebody and was pitching through the end of the season. I think it was the Orioles, actually. Yeah, it was the Orioles.
The Orioles picked up all our scraps.
Confirmed Orioles. I mean, the Orioles got sharp people in that room, and they had a very good waiver claim for the middle part of the season. I think you might see Jose Castillo still be pitching in the majors next year. For us, it was a journey, but he did get that huge double play. That was against the Phillies, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I might give him C just for that.
Cool. I'm down to put Jose Castillo C.
We're going to wind up overrunning this C tier.
Big Boom AJ Minter. God, how different this bullpen would feel if this guy didn't get hurt. He started hurt, got hurt. In the time that we had him, he was pretty incredible.
Only 11 innings, got hurt in April. It was painful, but you'd probably just give him an A just because of how good he was.
Yeah, I think in the moment, how good he was, I'd give him an A, and I can't fault him. I can't knock him down for getting hurt.
No, of course not. Same with, the David Stern people, like, built a horrible bullpen. Like, AJ Minter was one of the most important pieces of that bullpen heading into the season. It was terrible how that happened.
This guy is who? Who is that? Is that Chris Stavinsky? That feels like it could be Chris. It is Chris Stavinsky. Okay.
Confirmed?
Confirmed Chris Stavinsky. I'm going to tell you, Chris Stavinsky got screwed by the Mets.
You loved Chris Stavinsky. Remember Chris Stavinsky? He had that 3 innings against, that was the Yankees?
Yeah, and he was awesome in the 16 innings that he pitched. He had a sub-1 whip. He had a 2 ERA. And if you look at his K rates and stuff like that, like, they're not jumping off the page, but 21% K rate, 7% walk rate. I don't really understand why he didn't get more looks in this bullpen. That was horrible.
Yeah, Chris Stavinsky also, his first appearance of the year, he came up for 1 day against the Diamondbacks, pitched a mop-up duty, gave up 2 quick runs. I think it was 2 homers or 1 homer, something like that. But then he got sent down for a month. He came back up, had a clean inning, got sent down for another full month, and was one of the guys that, like, helped us really bridge the gap in July when we were kind of out of pitching. He pitched pretty well the entire time with that nice changeup.
I weirdly put him in A.
I guess I really can't believe how people are going to be clicking this video wanting to hear about Pete Alonso, Juan Soto, Francisco Lindor, and we're just talking about Chris Stavinsky, Dickie Lovelady.
No, that's
Genesis
why they
Cabrera.
click on. They want to hear us talk about those guys.
I guess, again, like, Chris Stavinsky, A for what he did, because he literally showed up and he got outs when we needed them.
Brandon Waddell.
Brandon Waddell's another guy where it probably felt better than it was, especially early on. He's the kind of guy who you just wish didn't throw 30 innings this season, truthfully. Yeah. The ERA was low, but everything kind of told us the whole time that this was not going to remain low. I think he classically fits once again in the big fat C tier.
You're going to put him in C? Okay. I was going to say D, but C is fine.
Shut up.
Kodai Senga.
So this is another weird one because we've been critical of Kodai throughout, and the weirdness just kind of persisted through spring training all the way to the end, through the middle of last season, even in a way. And I remember we did the interview with Tim Healy. Shout out Tim Healy, now still covering the Red Sox for the Boston Globe, lost our insider, but basically telling us that it was like the biggest story no one was talking about, that Kodai Senga still hadn't thrown a competitive pitch, and we were already beginning spring training. And again, it just never stopped. I know the ERA was still low, and the first half was great, but it still felt like smoke and mirrors basically that entire time. Like, I never felt for a second like we were watching the 2023 version of Kodai Senga this season. Ever.
We maybe got 2 or 3 actual good starts. The rest of them were like he didn't give up runs, but he had guys on first and second every single inning, it felt like, and got the big double player, got strikeouts when he needed it. He just was not the Kodai that we needed him. I wouldn't put him in the same tier as Minaya.
No way.
They still pitched well. I'd probably put him in D, though. Is that crazy?
I think that still is crazy because you still got 115 innings of a 3.0 ERA.
I guess.
I can't that's still something that happened.
I can't put him higher than C, though, because he wasn't there when we needed him most at the end.
True. Yeah, that's totally fair.
He literally wasn't there.
Where'd we grade Peterson?
C. He was in C as well.
Okay. I think I would view those two guys' seasons somewhat similarly, oddly enough.
All right. We'll put Kodai Senga in C. Not good. kind of bad, but we'll be a little respectful.
Yeah.
Dedniel.
Yikes.
It looked bad.
We had high hopes. We had very high hopes. And the
Super high hopes.
second he began to actually get it together, the elbow exploded. I think you kind of just have to be D or F.
Yeah, I'll put Dedniel in F because it just took forever for him to get going. Looked like he wasn't really in the best of shape either on the mound.
Yeah, you never want to call that out, but it did seem true.
Danny Young he threw what, like 6 pitches, I think, for this team this year?
Through 8 innings. And you know what? He struck the world out in those 8 innings.
Yeah, and then he blew out his elbow as well, I believe, right?
Yes, but he's someone who, again, like if he sticks around all year, like I think he would have been a useful part of this bullpen.
Probably B or C for him.
Back in the C tier, baby. This is where all these guys go. Can't really say shit.
Oh, Justin Hagenman.
Okay.
He wasn't nearly as bad as we thought, but I definitely still don't want, similarly, I don't really want to see him pitching too often.
I liked Hageman more than Waddell throughout, and I think that Hageman kind of should have had a few more chances than Waddell. Well, Waddell got a couple more of them. That could have wound up just being scheduling things, but I love a guy like Hageman who doesn't walk anybody.
Yes,
when you're going to come in and be like a spot starter, like a random innings either, I love that you're just challenging guys, putting the ball in play, letting your defense help you. He did really well also with that cutter changeup. I just liked I liked him enough to be the 8 starter.
This is your guy. I'm gonna let you pick where Justin Hagenman goes.
I think it should still be a C, even though as much as I'm talking about him. But
I thought you were going to fight for B.
Well, I'm not going to fight for Justin Hageman. I'm sorry to the Hageman family, but that's not what I'm going to do.
You know who we are going to fight for, though?
Hard.
Rico motherfucking Garcia. One of the biggest mistakes in the David Stearns tenure, bigger than trading for Ryan Helsley, letting Rico Garcia walk.
100%. Rico Garcia was identified in the offseason. He was the big call out from me and us from the Glob of Chaos being like, this is the guy who, when he comes up, he has a real good chance to be a piece. And then he came up, and you know what he was? A piece the entire time. And then we pushed him a little too hard, still was able to handle it, never really gave up runs, never really put himself in a bad situation.
The booth loved him.
Booth deservedly loves him. Seemed like the guys loved him too. And then afterwards, he went to Baltimore and continued to pitch well because we cut him just because he didn't have options. And it was a time where we needed an arm and he had thrown 2 innings the day before. I thought that was a very near side move by David Stearns, where he, I think, was much too robotic in putting the whole Glob of Chaos together as one, where you look at a guy like Rico Garcia, and it was clear that his stuff was good enough to rise above the rest. That was a disappointing move, and looking back, was something that truthfully probably cost this team a good bit.
Oh, he would have been getting major outs for this team.
Would have been like the setup man in August, truthfully.
S or A, where are we putting him, James?
I would put him in S.
Put Rico Garcia up there. That's our guy, Rico. This is our video. We can do whatever we want.
That's our king. So the S tier, just to update you guys on the audio side, we have Juan Soto, Dom Hamill, Nolan McClain, Brooks Raley, and Rico Garcia. The A tier, we have Austin Warren, AJ Minter, and Chris Davinsky.
Chris Davinsky.
In the B tier, we have Huascar Brazoban and Max Kranick.
This next guy, I think, is Ty Adcock.
That beard tells me Ty Adcock.
Yeah, it's Ty Adcock. C or D, probably, right? I mean,
he didn't give up runs when he pitched, but he wasn't good. I would still, I guess, just put him in the D tier.
Put him in the D tier. Sorry, Ty Adcock.
Adcock belongs in the D tier.
Jose Urena was so bad.
He was ass.
He was ass. He was so bad. That's when we also were really is David Stearns listening to this podcast? Because there was no reason for the Mets to ever sign Jose Urena, and I think I threw him out that one time. He threw 100 last year, threw a pitch at 100, and then the Mets signed him. That was insane.
And he was ass.
Another guy that was sadly ass. He was a little bit of a Mets Twitter legend. Thought it was going to be like a classic pitching lab fix. Tyler Zuber, I think, was also ass. He's just not really a major league pitcher in the frame that he was at.
No, but he also did the things that you expected him to do. Where he did get strikeouts. I think he just gave up bombs, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, he gave up 13.
That wasn't a homer.
He gave up 2 earned runs in 2 innings. Struck out 3 guys of the 9 he faced. It was a really small sample with the Mets. They got rid of him immediately. Does it make you feel better if they went to Miami and also stunk?
Yeah, no shame in it all. You give the guy like that a shot. He was a fun person there, but I think he still belongs in the F tier.
Yeah, unfortunately he does. Zach Pop also belongs in the F tier. I remember the Zach Pop game.
Might go in the ass tier, dude.
Oh yeah, actually you are right. He goes in the ass tier. Put him in the middle of a day game, just the first guy out of the bullpen, and what do you know? Zach Pop had nothing. The Blue Jays bullpen didn't want him, and we tried him, and he still stunk.
Terrible. Ass tier.
Luis Torrens. So the defense was unbelievable.
I'll tell you this, it feels crazy to be talking about a hitter.
It does feel crazy. We
Every
have
single
just-
guy we're talking about is a bullshit reliever.
Yeah, we got two catchers right next to each other with Luis Torrens and Hayden Sanger back to back. Torrens, James, tell me a little something about him.
I think you still have to consider him in the B tier. A lot was asked of him this year, more than you would usually ask of a backup catcher, and he does hit the ball hard. It's always on the ground to the opposite field, though. But the defense of Luis Torrens is great. It seems like he's also just a good clubhouse locker room guy. It seems like the guys in the team like him. It seems like the pitchers really enjoy pitching to him. There were those couple games towards the end of the season where he was catching and Alvarez was DHing, even with just two catchers on the roster. I know he can't hit, but we're not really evaluating our backup catcher and their ability to hit, and he's an ace defensively. I'm happy to have Luis Torrens in this organization moving forward.
He's a phenomenal backup catcher, and the ability to throw out runners at the rate that he is legitimately a weapon, which you can't really say about most backup catchers in the league. He changes games when he's in behind the plate. Could you imagine saying that about your backup?
No, and again, like to have like it's like a funny thing to say, like have that backup catcher locked up in a comfortable way. It's a nice little feeling.
Yes. Hayden Sanger, he's going to be the third catcher. He's not going anywhere. There's no reason for it. Now, that being said, he can't hit a lick. No. I don't know if he'd be the best hitter in our softball league, but
not the new one.
Not the new one. Definitely not the new one. Shout out Modified Softball. Slow pitching. DeWitt, Clinton DeWitt.
Modified Fast. Yeah, Clinton DeWitt.
But he's good defensively, but
great defensively.
Probably F or D.
I was still going. I'm addicted to the C tier. I was going to give him there again.
Hey, James, what if I told you?
I know how bad it is, but again, that's the third catcher.
What if I told you that our OPS is closer to Hayden Sanger's than Hayden Sanger's is to Juan Soto?
I think you could probably find a more funny guy to play that stat off of.
What if I told you 415? What if I told you that Hayden Sanger's OPS was closer to ours, which is a 0 and would be a 0 if we ever played in Major League Baseball, than Hayden Sanger's was to Pete? Yeah, but Pete's still really good. Man, we really didn't have anybody with 8s, huh?
Yeah, that was it. Those were the only guys. Because then Lindor, Hayden Sanger was closer to Lindor than we were the Hayden Sanger. Barely.
Okay. But yeah, I think he has to go in D.
All right. I mean, the third catcher has played good defense. That's all I can ask of him.
Nothing against him. Our king, Griffin Canning.
Jeez.
I very much want to fight for him in A tier. He was signed for $4 million. He pitched only against good teams, and he won every time he stepped up on the mound. Season was ended short. We saw the wheels coming off before that where he was getting hit more and more. And honestly, he was probably not going to make it to the end of the year on this team. If he was, it was going to be a reliever role. But in the time that we had Griffin Canning, he was pretty fucking awesome.
I'll say this too about Griffin Canning. I said this on Twitter, and some of the people who understood what I was saying were like, that's actually a good point. And some of the, the WFN listeners out there were like, how could you say that's ridiculous? The second Griffin Canning got hurt is when the wheels fell off.
1,000,000%.
Which is very funny because inside of 10 days, it was the Sanga injury, the Griffin Canning injury, and the Tyler McGill injury, the three-headed horseman of the Mets pitching depth this season. And it did change a lot. I don't think I can put him in A, though, just because, I guess, for the vibes, I think I'm down to put him in A. But we knew if he made 2 more starts, he was about to get lit. But here's another fun stat. Griffin Canning, guess where he ranked on the Mets in innings pitched this year?
4th.
Yeah, 4th. Nailed it.
Wow, nice.
You want to give me an innings guess?
88.
76.
That's so low.
So few.
God. Next up, James, we got El Troll, Francisco Alvarez. I love Francisco Alvarez.
This is a funny ranking, too, because I feel like you and I are just simply higher on Francisco Alvarez than the rest of the world, Mets community. Sure. I also think we're at the point where the Mets community is lower on Francisco Alvarez than the rest of the baseball community.
Yeah, I think sometimes the Mets community loves to hate being a Met fan.
I think that, you look at a guy like Francisco Alvarez, and it's just so apparent how talented he is, how good he can be, how good he already is. He had the 4th highest OPS on this team this year. I think I know he only got to play a half season's worth of games, but a lot of that wasn't exactly his fault. I mean, I guess some people will blame him for the slide to second base, but he missed a week with that torn thumb ligament. And I'm really impressed by how he came back from the demotion. Be able to handle that mentally at still the young age of 23 years old, if I'm not mistaken, right, at this point.
I think he's turning 24 soon, but 23.
I think he's turning 24 in 2 weeks.
Yes.
Or no, maybe it's November, the first week of November or something around there. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on that for Francisco. But he's tremendous. I'm happy to write him and Sharpie as the Mets catcher as long as we can keep him here.
Yeah, he's really good, and those numbers look good even with the half of his half season where he was trying out the new stance and was pretty horrible, bad.
Can I also make a prediction about Francisco Alvarez?
Yeah, hit me with a prediction.
This offseason, I think he does get an extension.
Ooh.
I think that you're in a situation where I think both sides feel good about an extension where he now another year further from free agency has seen how dangerous this position is and how much you have the opportunity to get hurt. I think he wants to lock up a bunch of money, and the team has some good math in their direction because Alvarez arbitration numbers aren't that high because of the way the last 2 years are counting stats wise, and just because they do have an extra year of the arbitration. So you can kind of bake in a couple extra years there at lower rates that I think that everybody would be very happy to right now get to the table and make something happen that works.
I'd be happy to pencil him in for the next 7 years as the Mets catcher. I'd be good with that. A or B, James? Where are you putting him?
Is it crazy to go A for a guy that only played 76 games and sucked for most of those? I think B.
B. I think that's a good thing to put him in B. It was a good season, but could have been better.
Yeah, should have been better.
Pete Alonso. Pete was awesome. I mean, Pete does what Pete does. He hits home runs. He drives in runs. He hits for power. He has a high OPS. I like Pete's awesome. Does he go in S?
I'd be very happy to put him in S. I think Pete got a lot of big hits for this team. I do know that there was a time, and this was the same of Juan Soto, it's the same of Francisco Lindor. So if we're going to put one in S, I think we have to put all in S. But there just was a moment where he did disappear for a little bit in those summer months when the team was kind of swooning a little bit. The 500 OPS in July is unthinkable looking back. But then Pete, he really pulled the nose back up. In August, September, he was tremendous. Like going down the stretch there, it felt like the only guys that were hitting were Pete, Lindor, and Soto. So I can't. If I'm going to knock one down, I'm going to knock them all down. If I'm going to put one up, I'm going to put them all up.
Should I just jump the line and also put Francisco Lindor in S tier 2 then right now?
I think so, totally. Because again, like Francisco Lindor, we know him at this point. We know that it's going to be a 6-week stretch every season where he's not going to be good. Nope. I don't know why. I don't know how. But this year from when he broke that toe, and I think that was June 4th or June 5th against the Dodgers until July 1st, or second week of July, he had a 198 batting average.
Basically till the All-Star break.
Yeah, it was just that was an unplayable time for him. But then again, you pull the nose back up. He had a great second half of the season. I think the most valuable player in all of baseball in terms of Fangraphs WAR from August 1st on. Like he's the constant professional. He's tremendous. Nothing wrong at all.
When you turn the lights on, he steps up every single time, and he continues to play phenomenal defense at shortstop.
One of the only guys that showed up to that last series against the Marlins.
Quite literally. Jeff McNeil. If you would have asked me in August, I probably would have put him in the B or A tier. You ask me now, he feels like a hard C. I don't know how much better or worse he made this team.
I think C is fair because, again, shape of the season, but he wasn't able to pull the nose back up. If he had a good final 2 weeks of the season, he would have got himself to B. But the fact that he dropped his OPS by 100 points over the last month of the season, and the defense, again, while it's still fine, it's not plus. And as we know, going into this offseason, David Stearns wants to make this defense plus. Like his spot in this team is definitely coming into question.
Yeah, I don't know if Jeff McNeil will play another game for the New York Mets in his baseball career.
I don't either.
Our boy, Brett the Met Beatty. What a season. What a season. A lot of ups and downs. Started off very down. And then as soon as he got called back up, dude was ready to go and just started playing good baseball. He played good defense at third, okay defense at second base, and he hit pretty well. It doesn't seem like Brett Beatty's ever going to be a high on-base percentage guy. A little less patient than we thought he would be because he did have great control of the strike zone down in the minors. But when he makes contact with the baseball, it is hit exceptionally hard, and he did that a lot of times this season.
Congratulations to both of us for holding strong on the Brett Beatty line.
Yeah, I
know. No matter what, we're like, I think this guy's still good. I think this guy's still good. And we've kind of got to a point where he's good, and he's going to be, I think, the third baseman next year. I don't think there's much of a question about that, honestly. Unless something very unexpected happens with third base position on this team, it's going to be Brett Beatty on opening day.
Triple B's, Brett Beatty, B tier?
Yeah, I think you have to put him and Alvarez together. I think both of those guys, they're such good friends too. Remember that little quote that Alvarez had too? It's like, who's your best friend team? Beatty.
Beatty.
I think that they're kind of linked. And I think it's kind of nice that they're linked. They both fought through a shit ton of adversity this year together. And it's cool to see that.
Mark Vientos.
Oh, man.
So, okay. I'm going to be mean for a second.
Okay.
I'm gonna argue for F tier. Below average hitter, negative value defensively. So he wasn't positive offensively. He was the worst third baseman, I think, defensively in all of baseball, and he runs with cinder blocks in his shoes. This version of Mark Vientos is the version that we had seen prior to last year, where he was unplayable, where doesn't really do anything. And as good as he was in 2024, I can't help shake the feeling that this is actually who Mark Vientos is.
The other weird thing about Mark Vientos is that while the beginning of the season was topsy-turvy and then he got hurt and then he was moody and kind of pouty for another month after that, August, he was awesome. You saw the exact same Mark Vientos just for 1 month this August that you saw in 2024, where he hit 8 of his 17 home runs on the entire season in that 1 month of August, which is ridiculous to look back on. And then it kind of all fell apart again. When we needed him most, he vanished. So if you want to put him in F, I'm not going to argue against that. I would say D, but I think F is fair. If we have Manaea there, we kind of put Vientos there.
That was kind of my reasoning. And also, it's tough to give someone who literally accumulated negative WAR anything above F.
That's true. Yeah, you just didn't help.
Luisangel Acuna, I think, is going to be in that same boat. He cannot hit. He is not a Major League Baseball player at the plate. Now, he's a great fielder and he can run, but at the plate, I don't know if he ever hits for the New York Mets again.
I would tell you, actually, I'm not putting him in F tier.
Where are you putting him?
I don't think so, because of what was asked of him this season, which was run and play defense. He did both of those quite well. Like he made the play in Cincinnati on a Friday night that almost saved this entire team's life.
Yeah, but he had his 500 OPS. I think he had a barrel.
And he shockingly did have 200 plate appearances.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you said,
remember he was a starter for like a month to start the season?
I mean, I get it. He was amazing last year. He saved the season when Lindor had his little back thing. Luisangel Acuna was amazing. Now, we do know that the bat speed was down from what it was the previous year. And that's a big reason why he was hitting like a child, why he was swinging a pool noodle. I don't think Luisangel Acuna is not a what's the word I'm saying? I think he's probably like one of the last guys on your roster right now because of the defense and because of the speed, but he can't be given as big of a role as he was this season with the Mets.
No, the intention for Luisangel Acuna, I think, should be to be Luis Guillorme, because the glove isn't that different, truthfully, at the end of the day. And you think there's more pop, and you know there's more speed. So if he is like the 24th or 25th guy on the roster, I think you're in a fine spot. But for some reason, watching that bat speed go from almost 74 miles an hour, which is considered plus
pretty
bat
good.
speed. When he came up in 2024, it was like, oh my God, this guy actually might have secret power. So this year being 70 miles an hour, which is way below average bat speed, that's something that needs to be reconciled. But even with all of that being said, I would still put him in D over F, because he did. Again, he's here for speed and defense. He played early in the year. He didn't really get many of those plate appearances after Jeff McNeil was healthy and Brett Baty asserted himself. So it's just, and I think he did run the bases exceptionally well when he was asked to do so.
All right, I could give you D for Luisangel. Ronnie.
Weird one
because the peaks were incredible, euphoric, and the valleys were devastating. I don't know what to do with Ronnie. Like I want to put him C. That's probably where I'm going to end up arguing. But also then you look back and you're like, didn't really hit, can't face lefties, can't run the bases. The defense was good, but also not good. Like it graded well, but watching it, you're like, Ronnie's not very good over there.
If he was good at the actual defense, it was the focus that was bad. And that's the thing that you kind of hate that's bad. Like if that's bad, it's like, come on, man. Like you simply just have to be better at that.
Now this all coming off of a major injury. He tore his ACL.
A major layoff.
Yes. So that's why I think lean C with Ronnie, as in like this was like one of those years that you kind of just have to put behind you and hope you see a little bit better. We saw the flashes that we always do. We just need that to be a little more consistent.
I was kind of going to argue D for these similar reasons, where it's just you, especially because the way the season ended, Ryan Mauricio had major opportunities to do something legitimately serious and cool. I do think he also made strides this year by the end of the season at the plate, where at least there was some kind of modicum of patience that was coming through, more so than we'd ever seen in his career, major league, minor league, anywhere. There's also the funny thing with Ronnie, where he's a guy that the perception of some people in the Mets community, what we've seen on the field are so different. Like I almost can't believe how much confidence some Mets fans have in Ronnie. I had a conversation on Sunday after the game, and emotions were high. Shout out the Ice House, Bushwick Ice House. But this guy was telling me that he wants Ronnie to be starting third base next year, Trey Beatty. I was like, what have you seen to make you possibly think that?
It'd be a way worse team if that happened.
I was like, you can't expect you can't say I want Ronnie to be a starting third baseman and say you want to have World Series aspirations. Like and it's a weird situation for Ronnie because he is 24 years old already. He's going to get a ton of run this year in the lead dome. And I'm excited to watch him out there and do that. I think he's going to have a great time. Ryan Mauricio is the kind of guy where I wish in Major League Baseball we could do what they do in European soccer. I would love to send him on loan. Yeah. I would love for Ryan Mauricio
to get the Rockies
500 plate appearances next year on the A's or the White Sox or something.
Yes,
the Diamondbacks. Just like give him a role somewhere. Let him face Major League pitching because he's not going to figure out these holes against minor league pitching, but he's not good enough to get full playing time on a winning ball club. It's a weird situation.
Unfortunately, he just can't platoon with Beatty. Just can't do it.
No, it's too much of the same guy.
All
He
right.
could have platooned with Vientos, but that's neither here nor there.
You want to put him in D?
Yeah, I think D.
Okay. D for
Because
Ronnie.
he had big opportunities and was disappointing in almost all of them. I mean, he had the huge home run against Randy Rodriguez, but it all disappeared.
Brandon Nimmo.
Weird one.
Weird one. I'll take off the anger that I've had for how he played this year. And truthfully, he probably was a C tier player. On this Mets roster, they treated him as if he was one of the most, like as if he was in the same tier of the Alonso, Lindor, Soto, like based on the
We did a
value.
little bit of that too.
For sure. He's not that player. You want Brandon Nimmo hitting 6th. You don't want him hitting 4th in a lineup. If he hit 6th and put up a 115 OPS plus, you'd feel really good. But the fact that Brandon Nimmo was getting a ton of at-bats in big moments with guys on base and came through sometimes, didn't come through a lot of times, and was also not good in left field, it leaves a weird taste in your mouth, but I don't think I can go below C for him.
And just to be a little bit extra critical of Nimmo, like when the going got tough in September, and again, when we've said it a few times now, Soto, Lindor, Alonso all showed up big time over that stretch. They were 3 of the best hitters in baseball in the month of September. Brandon Nimmo kind of disappeared. He had a lot of opportunities in that month, him and Mark Vientos. And when you felt the lineup get over that Pete Alonso hump to Nimmo and Vientos, you kind of felt like you had to scrape something together to possibly turn the lineup over to give those guys another shot. Like it was a situation where we still like Brandon Nimmo a lot in the show. I know Brandon Nimmo's going to still be on this team for a long time.
Yep.
Brandon Nimmo's still a guy that might, wind up getting his way to the Mets record books because of how many plate appearances he's going to wind up for this team. But if he can't play defense anymore and he's not getting on base anymore, it's a weird conversation.
Yeah. And again, this is about the 2025 season. I think even Brandon Nimmo would tell you it was a disappointing season for him. That being said, he did not hurt the Mets. He just, again, wasn't the player that we hoped he was. So I think that's probably why he goes in C.
Can I give one crazy prediction about Brandon Nimmo?
Yes.
I think that you see Brandon Nimmo pick up a first baseman's mitt in spring training.
Whoa.
And that has nothing to do with whether or not I think Pete Alonso is going to be on this team, because I still think Pete Alonso will be on this team. But I think that they're going to give Nimmo at least a tiny bit of a shot to see if that's remotely possible.
I mean, he moves like a robot, so it's...
And he can't throw.
Can't throw. It's tough watching him play the outfield, truthfully.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, because a few years ago, he was unbelievable in center field. Incredible.
It was at least, he was passable, like a good, 2022, he was like a plus
That's what I'm
outfielder.
talking about. Yeah.
And a good center fielder. It's just... I don't know what it is. I mean, these guys who are just, these white boys from the West, Midwest like this, like the body just deteriorates
So fast. I mean, he was a guy who was always getting hurt too. So
yeah. So and just weird things like neck, like he's getting a sore neck. Like that's the kind of thing that makes me think there's like a persistent issue.
Tyrone Taylor. He's going to be here again next year. They have control. He's cheap, plays good defense, can't hit. C or D probably for Tyrone.
I was almost going to tell you Tyrone Taylor should be a B just because of how much losing him hurt.
Fair. But also that's not really a credit to him. That's more of a fault to the Mets and David Stearns.
Totally. We're still grading these players on like what they did for this team. And
did he really do that much? He played good defense but couldn't hit.
A lot of this is the recency bias because when Tyrone Taylor came back at the end of the season, he was actually a guy that was moving the lineup around. But you were right, he didn't hit it all.
He had a 598 OPS.
Yeah, the on-base percentage dropped to 280. So.
We might be nice putting him in C, but...
Yeah, I think that's respectful to put Tyrone Taylor in C. It's just
put
defensive first center fielder, which is fine.
Tyler McGill.
Psh, God.
Remember this guy?
I wish he didn't get hurt. Sadly, he's another guy who probably never throws another pitch for the Mets.
Doesn't feel like... Well, I mean, they still have control over him until 2028.
Okay, so yeah, he probably will throw another pitch for the Mets then, but we know he's going to truthfully flourish out in Seattle, San Francisco, wherever it winds up being. But at the same time...
He's going to be the Las Vegas A's 3-starter once they get there.
Mark, where did Tyler McGill rank on this Mets team in innings pitched this season?
Oh, 5th.
Yep, 5th.
Yeah, okay, I was like, it can't be higher than 4th.
With 68 innings.
God, this team. What the fuck? What the fuck, David Stearns? God damn it.
What happened here? But I guess C, just because you were going to sneak me into arguing for B, but he was pitching really poorly before he got injured. But when he did get injured, you really felt the loss of like just a good, solid 5th starter.
And at the end of the day, he struck out nearly 30% of the batters he faced. I know he walks a lot of guys, but like the K to walk ratio being 20% is one of the best on this entire roster. So,
And it was one that, while again he was dipping down as he got hurt, just striking out that many batters, you expect that to tick back up a little bit. He'll always be the one we can't figure out.
at least on Al Gaib. No, that's Francisco Alvarez.
Yeah, that's it. Oh man,
Cedric Mullins.
ass.
I hate
So
doing that to
ass.
Cedric, but he didn't. Did he do anything good? Like, actually, did he have one good moment? He hit that one home run in the game when we were up already by a ton.
Didn't he hit the home run against the Rangers and it was close?
Yeah, I guess that's about it.
No, it was very bad. And this is also another one where people are going to rail against David Stearns, but this is the worst baseball Cedric Mullins has ever played.
In his life. And that's
Ever.
And that's including when he thought he could switch hit and then quit because he was so bad at hitting right-handed.
Yeah, imagine telling other Mets fans that he was used to be a switch hitter. Imagine Cedric Mullins. Maybe we should just hit righty just for the vibe.
That's what I was saying. I was like, maybe
Like
just
Murphy
change
said.
it up.
But that was just what a catastrophic set of acquisitions on deadline day between Halsey and Mullins.
You're talking about catastrophic acquisitions.
Yeah.
Jose Siri also belongs in the ass tier. Yeah, this one hurt me to my core because he's such a fun player from a roster building standpoint of his numbers are always going to look horrible, but he can hit home runs and he normally plays elite defense. He did none of that for the Mets.
None.
He played some of the worst defense in center field I've truthfully ever seen.
Awful.
And he had the worst at bats I've ever seen. He made the bat look like it weighed 1,000 pounds.
So some more bottom of the Mets roster trivia, Mark. Jose Siri. What do you think his strikeout rate was in 36 plate appearances?
Got to be 75%.
No, it was only 47%, but still.
That might be better than it was last year because he is a guy who strikes out like 50% of the time. Fun fact
rough.
about him, every time Jose Siri got on base, he did score.
Was that true even until the end?
I think so. I think until the end, every single time Jose Siri got on base, he scored. If not, there was like one time where he got on base and didn't score. So our agent of chaos was an absolute disaster.
Yeah. Next one's another weird one.
Shakira's favorite player, Travis Jankowski.
I mean, he appeared in 5 games. He only got to the plate 1 time. I think we should have to give him a C for that.
Yeah, sorry, Travis. I can't even believe he made it back, but give him a C. Let's move on to Starling Marte. Weird one.
Very weird one because this is one that, again, happy to say I was wrong about heading into the season, but a lot of the Starling Marte hate came from the fact that he clogged up this roster in a dramatic way. Like, if you could have just the roster spot, and we said it then, we said it in the middle, we'll say it now at the end of this all, the Marte and Vientos on a roster together was always difficult to stomach. And it was a really difficult thing when you have 2 guys who can't play defense and can't move and are negative platoon guys to be taking up roster spots at the same time. And it did wind up kind of seemingly hurting this team through the team building process in the offseason, especially when you lose a guy like Winker, who also couldn't move or play defense, but at least he could hit, I guess.
That's so many guys that couldn't move or play defense. It's crazy.
Yeah, looking back, you're like, this bench. And the bench became so bad at the end of the year. And weirdly, Starling Marte didn't get a plate appearance in the last game when he had Jeff McNeil up against a lefty. Like Jared Young, I know he's a lefty, but got a plate appearance over Starling Marte at the end. Just strange season. I do still think he played well, though, for what he was. Like, I'm not chastising. This grade isn't about your tangibility as a player. You know what I mean? Like, it's about how you perform. I think for how he performed, it still should be a B.
Ooh, really? I was going to put him in C. I think because one, like, he hit 270. The OPS was similar to Nimmo's at like 745. He didn't he was treated. We know he's not fast, but on this team, he was treated as supposed to be like a speed guy. Maybe B for the vibes because he was Unk and he was keeping the vibes up with the chancla and everything like that. But I don't know. I think Starling Marte is a C. I think we got the most we ever could out of him. That's probably the best Starling Marte is going to play for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
I can't put him in B. Like, we saw Brett Beatty, Alvarez, these guys do good things. Can you tell me what Starling Marte did good this year?
I guess that's right. If you're a DH with a 750 OPS, how much better can you be than C?
Nimmo was way better than him.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm going to put him in C. Jesse Winker. How many games did he play for us? Like 20?
Jesse Winker this year appeared in 26 games.
That's pretty good. He was
played
average.
like shit when he played, too.
Yeah, I mean, he low-key, besides the postseason, never played particularly well for the Mets. Unfair because of the injury. Definitely a vibes guy. I like Jesse Winker, but I don't think he ever plays for the Mets again. And the just phantom injuries that this guy gets for seemingly existing is pretty tough. I don't hate Jesse Winker. I don't wish bad on him, but not for my team anymore.
It's another classic white boy whose body is breaking down in the early 30s. Really knocking on wood for that one. But yeah, 32 years old, just like the back is now gone. It's like, how can it be gone?
Like he gets up out of bed. He's like, my back's locked. I don't know. Maybe that's just what happens when you get older.
Yeah, no, it's funny to also look at Jesse Winker's career in retrospect because besides for last season when he stole 14 bases, he stole 4 total bases. And then he totally fell apart.
C or D for him?
I guess it just has to be D because when he played, he wasn't good and he also wasn't available.
Yeah, he would.
Still a good vibes guy, but
Yeah,
he didn't perform when he was here.
No, and he was supposed to hit for more power, never did. I believe this is Jared Young. That's Jared Young. It's got to be. I'm going to look up Jared Young's face real quick.
No, based on who's left, it has to be Jared Young.
And it is Jared Young. I think I'm going to put him in the D tier as well. He basically was Jesse Winker in the same amount of games. He hit more home runs than Jesse Winker, but Jared Young was not very good.
No, he was not. Like that was one where again, like we were hopeful about Jared
Maybe
Young
F.
just because there was fun batted ball data, but it just didn't. None of it came to fruition. Remember
F.
that one home run at home? Like when we hit like 6 in the first inning. Who was that against?
Dylan Cease?
Was that Padres? Dylan Cease was one. It was a day one of the Knicks playoff games.
I could tell you right now because it's he didn't do much this year. You could just pull up his game logs and we could definitely find out when he did that. At home, he did it against, was that the White Sox?
Well, it was the White Sox. It was
Yes.
the White Sox.
Who pitched that game? Let's just, for conversation's
Oh,
sake.
because that was Memorial Day.
Oh, yeah,
weekend,
Jonathan Cannon and Jared Schuster. Those guys suck.
Yeah. So, yeah, I guess D for Jared Young.
Dear F. What if his OPS, I think, was like 5 something.
Put him where you're comfortable.
Oh, 722. We'll put him in D.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. He was a all-power guy. Woo-hoo, Frankie Montas.
Ass.
Frankie fastballs. We'll never pitch another pitch for the New York Mets. He's done. He's going to pick up his player option. He's going to cost us money. And this will go down as the worst signing that David Stearns probably ever has made in his entire life.
Oh, this will be also the one that people will talk about with David Stearns forever. Like this is you're tied to Frankie Montas in eternity now.
I mean, our partners over at Foul Territory talk about this one all the time. They hate Frankie Montas. Elite hate for this guy. And to be fair, he sucked. He was horrible. And
he was terrible.
He kind of has sucked every year, except the year where he cheated and took steroids.
And last year he was okay.
Yeah, he was okay, but not good enough.
Somehow not -4, pure 0. I can't believe that, honestly.
Yeah, but he was definitely ass.
He was major ass.
Blade Tidwell. The few
weird
appearances he made, it was pretty horrible.
Yeah, he was not good. We're still hopeful in the stuff, but then now I don't know what's going to happen with him and the Giants. He
F
was pretty.
Or ass.
I think F. Be nice to the kid for F.
We'll give Blade. He got thrown into the fire. Reed Garrett.
This is one where you went up and down heavily, but I think you still have to give him a C.
Yeah.
Yeah, he still had it. When the year ended, the ERA somehow was still under 4, and guess where Reed Garrett ranked on the Mets in innings pitched this season?
I don't know, 8th,
10th, but yeah, 55 innings.
My gut wants to say D. You're saying C?
Yeah, I think this is when Mark Licata really started to be born with the hate for Reed Garrett through the second half of the season. But he warmed up every day in April, May, and June. Every day.
What was the
he blew his arm out.
His FIP was better than he pitched. What was his inherited runner rate? I would love to know how many of the inherited runners he got scored, because it felt like every time he came in the middle of an inning, they just absolutely tore him apart.
How do you find that?
I don't know. I don't know if that's a stat that we keep.
I think someone has to keep it. It has to be in Baseball Reference.
I don't see it on Baseball Reference, or I don't know what the abbreviation is.
Yeah, that might be a weird abbreviation one, but it's just, again, like this was a situation where it felt like the team kind of failed Reed Garrett. Like he pitched so much, so often early in the season, and it's 2 years in a row where we did that, and he completely died.
All right, I'll give you C, but I want it to be known I want him in D. Ryan Stanek.
Ass to be ass. Ryan Stanek. Where do you think Ryan Stanek ranked, Mark, this year in innings pitched on the Mets? 9th. Nailed it.
Nice. I remember the numbers I've been guessing.
Yeah, so here you go. It's crazy memory. But yeah, Ryan Stanek wound up throwing the third most innings for any Mets reliever this
year. And he
year.
Shouldn't have. He should have been off this team a long time ago. I don't know what the deal is with him, that he basically didn't pitch well almost at all this year, but somehow remained on this roster seemingly for no reason.
Because he throws 100. That's the whole reason.
But he throws the most hittable 100 I've ever seen.
Yes, and again, I think it was that favorable remembrance of last year in the postseason, him just becoming the setup man.
Yeah, he was bad. Phil Maton was way better than him this year. Who thought that was going to happen? Edwin Diaz. I think this is probably one of the easiest ones. S.
Easily in the S tier.
He's the best reliever in baseball. If not one, he's number 2. He's ridiculous.
Here's the last one, Mark. Where did Edwin Diaz rank on the Mets in innings pitched?
I don't think I said 6th.
He was 6th.
Nice, okay.
He threw the 6th most innings
You're
on
closer.
the Mets. The most of any reliever on this team, Edwin Diaz.
I mean, that's good. He should throw the most innings of any reliever on a team. And
the second most, maybe, for like a swing guy to get to 80.
My bold prediction is that David Stearns is going to do the un-David Stearns-like thing, and he's going to pay Edwin Diaz. I think he's one of the few relievers that should be paid, and I think the Mets actually have no other choice but to pay him what he asks for.
Well, my bold prediction?
Yes.
I don't think he actually formally opts out. I think that we come to an agreement on like a softer deal where he still gets some more years, but I don't see the AAV going up that much because I don't know what a closer with a qualifying offer attached to them will get in the free agent market. I really don't. That's a really strange
Does he still have it attached?
That never happened yet. He hasn't been a free agent.
Yeah, he was.
Oh, he was?
Yeah.
Did we ever offer him the qualifying offer?
I'm sure we did. There's no way we didn't offer Edwin Diaz the qualifying offer. You can look that one up, but the numbers are unbelievable. He strikes everybody out. He dominates. The fastball is incredible. The slider is incredible. He's just really good. It's crazy where Edwin Diaz has come, but I think he's one of the priorities this offseason. We know how bad this bullpen was, and that's with him. We need to bring him back. I think there's no other choice.
So let's see. Edwin Diaz. We're scrolling. 2022 qualifying offers. What a crazy tab I'm scrolling on here.
Did he get one?
We did not offer him the qualifying offer.
So then can we offer him one now, or is it only the first time you hit free agency?
It's a great question. I feel like we always go back and forth on this.
It's one of these weird things that we probably don't need to know but should know.
For some reason, on MLB's website this year, he was never even available. He was not notable players who did not receive the qualifying offer. And then he also was not listed for eligible for the qualifying offer.
Was it because the Mets got him from the Mariners?
Was he ever actually a free agent, or was there 1 year left and we gave him a fat extension? He was a free agent,
Yeah,
right?
he was a free agent, definitely.
Why was he ineligible for the qualifying offer then?
I don't know. Someone can let us know in the comment section. Someone smarter than us. But remember when I was like, David Stearns would love to trade Edwin Diaz? I think David Stearns now is like, I can't let this guy go.
Yeah, but I also think at the same time,
I like what you said.
Yeah, I think everyone here knows that this is the best case scenario for everybody, and it just will continue.
Clay Holmes. This is going to be a contentious one for smart people versus idiots. Because smart people, I think you got to put Clay Holmes in A.
I was ready because my sword was out to argue for Clay Holmes in A.
No, I think he has to be an A. The fact that he went from a reliever to starter gave us, 160 innings of a 3.5 ERA?
165 at a 3.5.
Game 161 through a one-hitter through 6. Clay Holmes is...
Clay Main.
He's good. He's really good. And I feel very confident with him being in the rotation next season. I'm glad he's in the rotation as a 4 or a 5. Ground balls. He can get strikeouts sometimes, but that doesn't seem to be the most sustainable version of him as a starting pitcher. And for a first year ever being a starter like this at the major league level, you probably couldn't have asked for a better year from Clay Holmes.
No, this was a complete resounding success.
As bad as Montas was and some of the other guys that David Stearns went after, this, in terms of value-wise, was one of the best pickups that the Mets made, one of the best pickups that were made in Major League Baseball.
This was the one that it actually worked out. In terms of what should have happened with this rotation this season, this was the one where you're like, all right, that actually was the one where the magic did happen. The same magic that we got from all of the guys basically the year before. But Clay Holmes turned in like the Luis Severino season, even better than Luis Severino looking back, which is kind of funny to say.
Who threw more innings this year, James? Jack Flaherty or Clay Holmes?
It's probably Clay Holmes, right?
Clay Holmes by 4, and he had a significantly lower ERA. Just again, everyone likes to talk about that. The Mets didn't go out and get a big arm. You heard John Heyman slur his words asking questions about that. Clay Holmes is not the big arm, but he was better than the other options out there, and the Mets hit a home run on him.
Yeah, Clay Holmes basically performed like one of the best free agent starting pitcher signings this past offseason. Again, the problem with this Mets rotation did come back to Sean Manaea and Kodai Senga.
Yes.
That's it. It comes back. And just an update on the Edwin Diaz thing. In 2022, he was eligible to receive the qualifying offer, but did not receive one.
Wow, okay.
So I guess you still can.
Maybe. I don't know. You guys will let us know.
I got you right here. The only qualifications for receiving a qualifying offer, that player has never received a qualifying offer previously in their career. That player spent the entire season on that team's roster.
Okay. Then I guess they technically could offer him one if he were to opt out.
And having that hanging over his head, that's a really good reason to work out an extension.
Yep, I like that a lot. I feel really good about that. Last guy, never made an appearance, Dylan Ross. I think I'm just going to leave him down there. I don't think I'm going to rank him. He didn't do anything. He literally never played. Right? That's Dylan
fair.
Ross?
It has to be Dylan Ross because we've gone through, I think, every other person.
Ross. Let's see. Dylan Ross.
I have the list of every single pitcher that pitched the season for the Mets, working through it, and we have gone through every other guy.
I'm trying to see. Oh, yeah, it's Dylan Ross. Okay. Yeah, we're not going to rank him, but he throws 100, and I'm very excited to see what he's got for us next season because the stuff in AAA looked awesome.
I am kind of happy we didn't see him because he doesn't know where the ball's going. So I think coming into one of these super high leverage games, that could have done the thing where Mets fans turned on him forever if he had one bad outing. So nice that we still have untouched snow with Dylan Ross.
Guys, this is our tier list. It's crazy. It's ridiculous. You let us know
insane.
in the comment section what you think. I can't wait to tweet out this tier list and just see what people say when it's like Juan Soto right next to Dom Hamill, right next to Nolan McLean. Who arguably, because people are going to objectively look at it and think that it's ranked inside the tiers as well.
Oh, yeah.
So, seeing Rico Garcia ahead of Pete Alonso, Francisco Lindor, Edwin Diaz is also really fucking funny.
Also might be fair.
That's it, guys. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Make sure you're subscribed. You can follow James on social media at
James Shiano.
I'm Draft Mark with a C. We will catch you guys all probably next week for another episode. So, we'll see you then. Peace out.
Peace out, guys.